Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And after Retro Red Steve tagged me in 5 games I always go back to, it gave me an idea. I started looking back at some of the old retro games and then also the retro cartoons. And what I did, gosh, several years ago on YouTube was my top 10 favorite cartoon intros. I'm not sure if it's been blocked since because of copyright, but if you go into my cartoons and anime playlist, it's in there, hopefully. And loads of different YouTubers replied to that, did a video response, and it was a really popular video, and it was great to see everybody's favorite cartoons coming out of, well, all different eras. Excuse me, because all different ages. So it was great to see. So I thought today I would bring you my top 5 favorite childhood cartoons, and this was not an easy task. And if you asked me to do it again next week, it would probably change, apart from maybe number one. There were so many I've missed out in this list because there's so many awesome cartoons. But the 80s and 90s had it all. Um, really great stuff going on. I'll try and think of some honourable mentions at the end, so I won't say any yet. So I had to base this on certain factors like how did the cartoon make me feel at the time, how excited I was to watch it, have I done anything with the cartoon since, have I done a 90s kid on it, have I watched it as an adult, do I collect merchandise for it, things like that. So I thought then, if I'm doing that, then that surely must be my top 5. Maybe. I'm looking by there, my list is right there, my iPad set up there, it's looking directly at me. I definitely agree with at least 3 of them on the list. 4, 5. Top 10 would be easier. Anyway, I'm not going to tag anybody in this. This is an open tag. So if anybody wants to do like a VR, that'd be great to see. So I'd love to see what your 5 favorite childhood cartoons are, or if you simply want to let me know in the comments below, we'll do that. Okay, let's go on with it then. Number 5 in the list is none other than The Legends of Treasure Island. Some that might not be a surprise to some of you. Some of you might be going, "What's that?" Um, and I'm probably going to be the only person I imagine doing this video with that in their list. Okay, so I've always been a fan of the Treasure Island story of Jim Hawkins, Long John Silver, going off, find buried treasure, pirates. I just love the entire adventure. So in the early 90s, 94 maybe? 94, 95 I'd say. I have done a 90s kid video on this by the way if you want to learn a lot more. I can't remember all the details now, but they're all in that video. So there was a cartoon version called The Legends of Treasure Island, which saw the characters as animals. Jim Hawkins was a dog. Long John Fox was a silver. Long John Fox was a silver. Long John Fox was a silver. Long John Silver was a fox. Got it in the end. Squire Trelawney was a chicken because he's a bit of a coward in this. Doctor Livesey was a dog. Captain Smollett was a dog. They all anyway. Some of the pirates are like rats and kind of warthogs and animals, I guess you wouldn't necessarily assume cuddly and all that kind of stuff. That's probably what they were going for. Anyway, it had great voice talent. You had Dawn French as Jim Hawkins. You had Hugh Laurie as Squire Trelawney, and many more. And I just loved it. I loved the intro. I remember how excited I was. This is one of the factors. I always remember this in primary school. Every Tuesday, I think it was you watch now. It probably was not a Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I'd be so happy and looking forward to getting home because 2 of my favorite cartoons are on. The Legends of Treasure Island and my next pick, so I won't tell you just yet. And it was great. I just loved it, and it lasted for 2 series. But I've got to say, my love for it is only the first season. The second season, some of the voice actors changed, the animation changed. You can tell completely different, to a different studio to it. But yeah, that's my pick for number 1, and I've actually number 5. I've actually got animation cells from the Legends of Treasure Island, and they're signed. And I didn't realize until after they arrived that those animation cells are actually from the intro. So that is awesome to have. So yeah, another fact I've got animation cells from it. Right, okay. Number 4 then is none other than The Animals of Farthing Wood. That Tuesday afternoon, these 2 cartoons are on one after the other. I can't remember which is first. I love them both. And the Animals of Farthing Wood, me and my school friends, we absolutely loved that show. The only thing of it, why? Because it was so harsh. They killed the animals off and everything, and it's like, oh, I guess in a way it's bit of like a wake up to the world. Like, your kids now, you've got no worries, but this is like the real reality of the world out there, which we've all done since then, haven't we? Yes. Look, I'm tired today because I tell you, I've been looking after the dog and he's been keeping me up. He's a bugger. Anyway, he's up late at the moment. Like temp number 50 at this. So yeah, the Animals of Farthing Wood. Like we used to play it in school as well. We used to always argue who got to play Fox. I had the comics. I had the figures. I don't think there was don't think there was ever a video game, was there? Let me know if I'm wrong. And if so, why have I not seen that? Yeah, that lasted for 3 series. So it showed you the animals escaping from Farthing Wood because it was being torn down for construction. And then they were heading to the nature reserve park, White Deer Park. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. And then there was a third series at the end as well, because in White Deer Park they were facing off against Scar, that evil blue fox. And then there was a third series where the rats came into it, but by then I was a bit older, so I think I stopped watching it, and I think I didn't even know it was on to begin with. But yeah, the Annals of Farthing Wood, great memories of that. The intro music is always in my head. It's playing now. I said this in my last video when I was choosing like the 5 games I was going back to. When I was talking about them, the music was playing in my head. It's doing it with this one. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And that sounds Farthing Wood. Okay, third place. This could have been higher and might be number one on a lot of people's list. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't really have to say a lot on this one, do I? Absolutely loved it. Intro song is amazing. As you know, if you've been watching my channel, I've been collecting the comics. Still got a few to get yet. I bought back the Turtle fan I had when I was a kid. I can't ever remember playing Turtles much with my friends, like outside in the street and all that, but we did used to play the NES game. I had Turtles 2, the arcade game on the NES. That was awesome. And if it ever came on, we were always watching it, Cowabunga and all that. And I have recently been watching the series back. There's like 195 episodes or something ridiculous like that, and I'm on season 2 now, halfway through season 2. Yeah, it's great. What's it? Baxter Stockman has not turned into a fly yet. It's just great seeing all the characters come back. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about those guys, and I got reminded of some characters by playing Shredder's Revenge. Great game, by the way. Oh, that's such a good nod to the cartoon classic. The characters in that, some of the bosses I've forgotten about. Really well done. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, I've never seen any of the other versions of Turtles. The one like Nickelodeon, it's like one in 2000, one I don't know, something like that. I think there's 2 different ones. Um, and seen some of the live action films, like the Michael Bay ones, but obviously the earlier ones, like late 80s, early 90s, they're cool. But yeah, nothing will ever beat for me, Turtles wise, the late 80s, early 90s version. That was awesome. So many people love that. I mean, I've just got to go on Facebook or Twitter, write he was in a half shell, then someone will always reply Turtle Power every single time. Does not fail. Okay, guys, so that is Turtles. You know all about it, so I don't have to say a lot on it. Number 2 then, the top 2. You probably know what the top 1 is, but top 2 I have chosen Ducktales. You did it, didn't you? You did it. You did the woohoo. Um, yeah, this is the only Disney one on the list, surprisingly, because I love a lot of Disney cartoons. I'll go more into that in a minute. But DuckTales, yeah, Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the Money Bin. It was just absolutely classic. The intro again, one of the best intros of all time. And like I said, everyone still sings it now. You could be walking down the office and work, and we start singing, they all join in. It's great. You had the Beagle Boys, didn't you? Yeah, Magica, the Spell, and this is one I've watched back recently as well. Not all of the episodes, just a few on Disney Plus for old time's sake. Yeah, you're how old and you're watching cartoons? They're awesome. They're awesome. Yeah, so Ducktales is number two. This I did start watching a movie, and I couldn't get into it that much. Um, but the single episodes, yeah, they're all great. I remember the one in the castle, um, it was like in that invisible ghost kind of thing, and that was really cool. Um, I remember once when the minibin got like abducted by aliens in space, and they were going to melt it down, something like that. That was always a story about the the enemies trying to get Scrooge's fortune or Scrooge McDuck going on like a journey to another country to try and gain this very valuable treasure or something like that. Oh man, it's fun times. I used to have a couple of on VHS as well. One episode where Scrooge was framed, I think, by what's his name? Glomgold? Is that it? And he's arrested, and then there was one in space again. I think Huey, Dewey, Louie, and their friend Doofus. Is it Doofus or am I making that up? I don't know. I think it is. They ended up in space. Part of like they were like touring on one of their favorite cartoon shows, and it turns out like it's a sci-fi, but turned out to be very real in the end. Anyway, I'm just babbling now. So Ducktales number two. Number one, then, no surprises here, is obviously Bucky O'Hare. You know that if you've been watching my channel, well, even for a short time, you probably know that. For me, Bucky O'Hare is one of the most underrated cartoons of all time. Um, it's a dishonor that it was only 13 episodes long. It has, for me, a hell of a lot of potential. You have a group of mammals fighting a group of amphibians in space. I mean, how awesome is that? The characters themselves, Bucky O'Hare, Deadeye Duck, Blinky, Jenny, Willie DeWitt, Bruiser, and then all the good guys, all so different to each other. And then the villains as well, Toadborg, Air Marshal, Complex, Fritz and Frats, Alligator. Um, just classic, absolutely classic names. Each character was their own character, completely different from everyone else. The Toads, you had Toad Croaker, Toad Double Bubble, the Righteous Indignation, all of it. Absolutely loved every single bit. And that is a series I've watched a couple of times, and I'm even thinking of doing it's kind of like a YouTube series on that me called I don't know what it's called yet, but I don't know, something to do with looking at it. Either reviewing the episodes, reviewing the entire series, looking at different parts. Um, so as you know, with Bucky O'Hare, I do collect the merchandise. I've collected anything I see pretty much of Bucky O'Hare. I think it should come back. It might not be as good though. That's the risk. But I think there's like unfinished business here, to be honest. And I know Larry Hammer, the creator of Bucky O'Hare, has got an unpublished novel sitting in his drawer for like what could have been like a second season or more comics. How do I know that? Because he told me himself. Yeah, I messaged him on his official Facebook page, um, and he said it wasn't up to him ever got publishers, up to somebody else or something got publishers. Like, just do it, find a way. So yeah, I collected the comics, all the toys, the figures, the video games, the NES game. Did not realize there was an arcade game until later in life, but I love that game as well. Yeah, me and my friends used to argue over who got to play as Bucky O'Hare. Not in the game, when we were playing the game outside, ourselves outside. So great times. So guys, those are my top five. What have I missed out? Well, everything really, haven't I? Um, I never watched He-Man much, but I could have had Gummy Bears, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Peter Pan and the Pirates. I love that. You probably know that as well. So many things out there. Um, there's a couple of like 80s classics I know some YouTubers are gonna pick, um, but they were just a bit before my time, so I never got to really sit down and watch them. Otherwise, maybe my list would be entirely different. Anyway, guys, so that is it. Let me know what you thought of my 5 picks: The Legend of Treasure Island, The Animals of Farthing Wood, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ducktales, Bucky O'Hare, uh, Burlow, and yeah, so please do a VR and let me know if you've done one so I can watch it, or just let me know in the comments. Right, guys, thank you for watching as ever, and boom, bring back Bucky O'Hare soon.